Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am here with my 2023 Daphne's Diary Planner, and I just wanted to come on and set it up with you. And so I am going to completely gut this planner. And what I mean by that is I am going to take everything off of the coil, and if I can quickly get my planner from 2017, I will show you exactly what I will be doing to this one. So this is my chunky monkey here from 2017, and if you see here, like a lot of the pages in the front I kind of got rid of. I kept this, but like that, what is it, the intro, like how to use the planner thing, I kind of got rid of. And then it just goes straight into like a dashboard with a tab, and I have some tabs here that I'm going to repurpose to do that, and then straight into the weekly, and then you have the same thing here. So like I removed all of the inside pages and all those things, and so this planner actually did not come like this. Some of the pages that are on the front were in different sections of the planner, and a lot of them I had to just glue on top of whatever was there because I wanted it there instead. And so I'm going to do something similar with this planner here. And so if I can get this, I forget which way it is. I think it's this way. Yes, it is this way. And I'm just gonna pull these guys apart just enough so that I can take out all the pages. And this is how I did the 2017 one as well. And you know, I used to do these, like take notebooks that are coiled like this. I would take them apart when I was younger and like rearrange pages and stuff like that, and just personalize it. I don't mind. I know sometimes this kind of ruins the integrity of the coil, but I don't actually mind that. And so I am just going to just take everything off. So when you put it back together, you have to make sure that your back cover and the front cover are facing each other, and then you just put everything back in like that. So the back cover needs to be first. And so yeah, I'm just going to take everything out, keeping them in an order for now, and then I'm going to go through page by page and rearrange some things, get rid of some stuff, cover stuff up, you know, that sort of thing. And yeah, so I'm setting this up to be a memory planner. And I feel like I'm going to do something a little different with my memory keeping for this one, because if I go back to the other one here, what I did was I kind of did like some sort of collage. You know, I'm trying to think of a really good example of what I did. Like I would do some sort of like little focal collage thing and have different elements and stickers and stuff like that, and then put my pictures, and then I typed up like what happened during the week and printed them out. And I think every single spread is some combination of that. And like that was fine, but I'm not really sure if I want to type up my journaling, even though I really love the look and it's all what is it? What's the word? I'm like blinking on the word. Like uniformed. It's all consistent. You know, it's the same font. It's just like Courier New or whatever typewriter font, and it looks neat. But like in my head, I'm just like, do I really want to type everything up and print it out? I kind of want to be more collagey and scrappy with the new one, and not so much like this. I definitely do want to include my photographs and stuff, but I also kind of want to do more collage work. So I'm not sure yet if I'm going to type up my things, but I'm definitely going to try to be a little bit more artsy, I think, with the planner. And so the back cover, the front cover, we're keeping all that. And then this is the name. Actually, I do want this because it has a calendar here. This is the how to use the planner and like the perpetual. I do not want that, so we can just, that can be a page that we don't use, right? And then this is a bucket list. I don't think I want this in the memory planners, but I can use that for something else. And then there's a contacts. I really don't want that either. And so now we're in January, which is perfect because I want January. But I don't use these monthlies. I don't use these monthlies at all. I actually took out all the monthly pages from the other one, and I hate, like, so if you've seen a flip through of this, you'll know that like each month starts, like the week before starts with a page, like it all starts with the monthly that has the monthly date, but then there's like a page of like food stuff. I really don't like that. And so what I'm thinking of doing is kind of cutting this off the tab, then gluing this page to this page, so that way it opens, you have the month, there'll be a tab here, and then it opens straight into the week. And so I think that is what I'm going to do for all of these pages, actually. And so I have a glue stick here. I think I'm going to use a glue stick. I feel like that would be the easiest. And I am just going to rip this, I think. Yeah, I think I'm just going to rip it. And so I'm just ripping off this flap because I don't use the monthly. And this has that like really cute kind of, what is this called when you can just cut it? I know a lot of bullet journalers do this in their bullet journals. It's like a little fancy flat thing, but I don't need this for my purpose, and so I am just gonna get rid of it. And I can just use this in something else. And so I have that page there like that, and I'm just going to glue these two so that they're one page like that, because I believe that is how I did this. We go to January, except like the pages didn't have January, February, March on it. They just had like a artwork here, and then I just glued that to the thing, and then it flipped right into the first week. And so yes, that is what I'm going to do here. And I love these, like throughout them, like each month has a beautiful artwork. Oh, I love it, love it. I just don't love this. I don't love it at all. It's cute, but it's just not it's not something that I like or anything. And so we're just gonna cut this. I need like a piece of paper or something so that I can glue through these holes here. And I'm gonna need a new glue stick, because this glue stick is at the end. We're at the end of the line with this glue stick. Let me get another glue stick here. And so this is going to be my process of like putting this together. This is how I altered it before, and this is how I'm going to alter it this time around. And yeah, so it's going to be a process. I might speed this up at some point. We'll see. The holes should line up really well, but I'm like not really concerned or picky if things don't like line up. Like you can see some of that white coming through. I don't really care. This, I remember this project being something super, super low key when I first did it, and that's how I kind of want to keep it. And again, like I said, I want this project to be a little bit more scrappy. And so I guess how I'm envisioning it, I kind of want to do more collage on these pages, and then put my photos and like my journaling of what happened that week. And the way I'm thinking about it is heavily inspired from Martina from Teal and Tattered. What is her? I think it's Teal and Tattered. I believe that's her YouTube channel. I will link it in the description box. She does like these wonderful like almost all of her journals are collaged. Like she's so gifted in doing collage, and she has a journal that she made solely out of Daphne's Diary magazines where she does a lot of her collage work in, and she does these little forgot their I don't know if they're called master boards. I don't know what she calls them, but they're basically collage boards. And so I kind of want to do something like that, feel something like that with this memory planner, but also document my memories. And so that is the divider. I mean, mine is, of course, it'll straighten out. It's a little wet because I'm using glue, but I will then have a tab here. And so for the tabs, these are some tabs that I have in my shop. They're my wallpaper tabs, except I printed this and then ran it through my Silhouette, and my Silhouette machine didn't cut it right. So I have a lot of like white on the edge there. And I figured, since instead of throwing them out, I think what I'm gonna do is I have this basket here full of scraps. This, like, I need to make this into a bucket, but I have all these scraps. And so I figured the ones that have, like, this one kind of cut correctly, and then like these cut close to correctly, and then it just died. But like these, I think I'm just gonna take scrap pieces of paper and kind of collage them onto the tag and then cut around it so that's the tag shaped. And then I have this printable. This is, again, I try to run this through my Silhouette to make them, to kiss cut the stickers. And I don't know, it was doing it perfectly. And then all of a sudden my Silhouette just stopped. Like, I guess the, what'd you call it? The connection failed or whatever. And I didn't want to restart it. I'm just like, you know what? I think I have a full year here. And then the rest of them I can just fussy cut myself. But I will have this sheet. It is just a sheet that I made of, I think there's like 4 years here of, I think there's four, yeah, there's 4 years of just monthly stickers. So it's January, February, and so that's kind of what I did here. So I made these. I made these on Photoshop, and it's just the two fonts that you normally see in a Daphne's Diary magazine. They're free fonts that you can get from online. They're free to use fonts. I will link the fonts. I know one of them is Simon's script, and the other one I want to say is Jekyll, but I could be wrong on that one because there's different versions of that scripty. But this one is called Simon's script. But I will leave the links in the description box below for these particular fonts if you want to use them. But they're fonts that are free to use. I actually was using the Simon script font, actually both of these fonts, way before I discovered Daphne's Diary, only because I did a lot of graphic design work in college, and I would just hoard fonts. Like, literally, I would hoard fonts. So I will leave links to the fonts, but I will also leave a link. I'll put this in my shop as a printable if you want to get like the full page and like printed. I printed mine off on sticker paper, and so yeah, you can print it off on sticker paper and fussy cut them out. But I have those here, so that's how I'm gonna label these guys after I've collaged them. And so that'll probably be last. Like, the last thing that I do is the tags. Right now I kind of want to get my planner back together before I do the tags. So that is the first page there. And then each week has one of these pages in the center. I removed all of these. But I kept them nearby so that, and when I had a session of where usually Sundays is when I came and worked in my planner, I had a pile of these. I had a stack of these, and this is what I would use to collage on the backgrounds. And so I'm definitely going to keep these to use for this planner. It's just I don't want to keep them in here. And so I just got to remove all of them from in between the weekly. And they're just so pretty. And even if I don't end up using them to collage in this planner, I can definitely use those for my journals, for journaling and stuff like that. Okay, so this is February, and so I'm going to do the exact same thing. This is so pretty. Like, this is just so pretty. They're all so, so pretty. And I'm going to get rid of this. I'm glad that a lot of these monthlies I'm not attached to. Like some of the artwork on some of the monthlies are really pretty, but most of them I'm just like, I don't really need that. What I do love is these black and white floral pieces, or the other one wasn't a floral, the other one were stars, but I absolutely love this, to use this for something. Like I can fuzzy cut that and use it in my journals somewhere. So that is February. February's is lasagna. And I'm just gonna do the same thing here. And so yeah, this is how I set mine up. I know a lot of people, they just kind of rip the pages out. I don't know. I guess because certain pages that I'm not going to use, like these, well, like I just kind of want to glue them together, and so I need those holes to be intact. And I know it would be easier just to like cover the things, but I always got to do the hard way. Always got to do the hard way. I guess I'm just so used to doing it this way, even though I only did it that 1 year. And like, I kind of regret only doing it that 1 year. I really should have bought the 2018 planner the following year, because I really did love this project. And I don't know why I didn't. Like, I'm trying to remember why I didn't. Did I, like, in my head, I'm just like, did I have a memory planner or something? You know what it was? I think I ended up doing a scrap therapy book for 2018. And so I did not have a memory planner. And that Daphne's Diary, my first Daphne's Diary memory planner, I did that in replacement of the Heidi Swapp memory planner, because I think the previous year I kept a Heidi Swapp memory planner. And that was fun. See, like this, I don't like. I really don't like this. And so I have to figure out, like, I know January's I wasn't fond of either. But I need to figure out if how I can cover that, you know? And what I try to look for first is any of the pages that I've pulled out of the planner. These guys obviously won't work, and I'll use those to layer and collage something else, but like I can use the contact sheet and have that on the back. This one is a bucket list, but it's the wrong way. And then this one is like that. So yeah, like I really only have this. And so I don't know, I got to figure out what I want to do there. I might just go in and collage the backs of these later on. Like I know some of them I had to, if I couldn't find pages to back them with, some of them had really nice backs, and then others I had to get fancy, like this one. Yeah, I don't know how I did this one. This is 2 pages, and I think I collaged and I stitched actually. So yeah, I got to figure out how I want to cover those backs, but I don't really like that shop Daphne's Diary page there, but we will come to that later. Later. And we have March. March is beautiful. I absolutely love that. It's so pretty. And I love this. And I just noticed that these are all upside down. Like even the previous one that I took off was upside down. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but the florals are upside down. But which is fine, because I am getting rid of it anyway, and I can use it somewhere else. It's supposed to be like this. I don't know if that was a mistake, but I don't need it anyway. So yeah, we're gonna glue Mr. Sandwich here. Yeah, so my idea is mostly to use a lot of Daphne's Diary products in here. So I did buy, I have 2 of the paper pads from the Daphne's Diary shop because I really love the designs that Daphne uses in the magazines. And I don't always go and purchase the magazines only because they take forever to get here. Like, you know, it takes like a month or so. Like it just takes forever. It's for like Barnes and Nobles to get the new issues. Um, and so sometimes I just forget to like keep on top of when the new issues are coming to Barnes and Nobles, that I just never buy them. And so, but I really love the patterns of some of the papers, you know, that you get in the magazines now. And so I just, when I placed an order to Daphne's Diary, to their web shop, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pay that outrageous shipping price, but let me make sure that I buy a bunch of things. So I bought a couple of magazines, and I bought the 2 paper pads, and I bought this planner. And the paper pads have just really nice design. So I think for the backings that I don't particularly like, I think I'm going to use some of the Daphne's Diary paper from those paper pads, and then the paper that, you know, that I rip up from the actual magazines, because I do have a lot of copies. Like this one is correct. Those weren't. Very weird. I do have a lot of copies of Daphne's Diary magazine. This is so pretty. I'm going to use this. See, like this, it's my month. My birth month is April. This is a cute monthly. Too bad I don't use a monthly, but this is so stinking cute. I love that. I'm going to use, like, see, this is difficult. Do I want that or do I want this? I think I want the floral. So I'll probably use that in a page or something. But I have a lot of Daphne's Diary magazines from, I want to say 2015 was when I started buying them. And so I have a lot of old ones. And then I stopped buying them, I think after like 2018, I stopped buying them for a few years. And then I think 20, I think I have most of them from last year, from 2022. And that's only because there was like a moment there where their style sort of changed, and it wasn't like that vintagey floral stuff anymore. They kind of went more of an illustrated look that I wasn't too keen on, and it was just like less florals, and like people like the florals. And that's what I loved so much about Daphne's Diary. And so I would kind of pick and choose now which magazines, which issues to get based on like what's in it. Like if there's like only 1 or 2 things that I am interested in, I don't necessarily get the magazine. But if there are more, then I'll buy it. Like that's how I kind of weigh, because these magazines are so expensive now. They're like, everything's expensive now, but like these magazines, they've always been pretty pricey. Although I used to get them from, like, there's a Unique Magazines. I believe it's like a UK magazine place. I used to buy them online, and like shipping them here to New York from the UK, the whole magazine would come out to like $13 USD, which is reasonable. But I don't think that's the case anymore. And to get these at Barnes and Nobles, they're like 16 and change. So yeah. April is so bright. I love some of these backs. Like, this is gorgeous. Just like all of the patterns. And then April is spring. This is my birth week here. It's so pretty. So pretty. See, I wish they all ended with the diary page. That would have been so convenient and so handy. They would have been like the Heidi Swapp memory planners. Heidi Swapp always, the last page of the month would always have like a reflections page where you kind of just reflected on the month. The diary pages, if all of them had that, that would have been really nice. And so I think, because this is going to take forever for me to glue everything, I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of remove all the middle inserts, these little to buy, to do pages here. so that I can get all of the pages done. And then I'll go back and make my monthly. Basically, I'm making the monthly dividers. I have to cover that up. And this is a sheet of stickers here, so I'm going to remove those. This is gorgeous. I absolutely love that. Love it. This is really cute. So yeah, that is how I'm setting up my planner. Let me know if you're using this planner this year. I know there are a couple of people using it. I don't know if people actually use it for like planning, like their actual planning, or if you're going to use it more like I'm using it as like a memory planner, or if you're going to use it like a collage book, or like how do you use it? I know like I'll probably after I film this, I'll probably go on YouTube and just kind of search, you know, Daphne's Diary Memory Planner and see how other people are using it. I know on my feed, Junie from Willowbound, I think it's Willowbound Books, Junie, Desiree. I know she recently posted, as I'm filming this right now, she recently uploaded a video of of her setting up this exact same planner, and I haven't seen it yet. Honestly, I'm so behind in watching my YouTube videos that like I have all of my subscriptions, right? And you get your subscriptions on your feed. And the videos that I'm like interested in watching, I just pretty much put them all into the watch later playlist. And because sometimes I just don't have time to sit down and watch a bunch of videos. And so I just kind of put everything to the watch later playlist. And when I'm working in my journals, or sometimes when it's like a slow day, not so much a slow day at work, but like if I'm doing something monotonous, you know, or something, I will just play the playlist in the background and like watch it while I'm doing work. But for the most part, I tend to watch through that playlist as I'm working on a planner or a journal or doing something crafty. And I basically craft along with the videos. I do my own thing, but I like having something there in the background that I can just kind of look up. I just watch it on my iPad. And so I have like over 100 videos. Well, at one point before this weekend, I had like 100 and something videos in there. And then like more of the vlog type videos that aren't crafty, I just watched them all the other day because those again they aren't crafty, and so I was like, these I'll just watch to like sort of empty out my playlist here. But I have like 100 videos to watch, and I kind of put them in so I kind of put them sequentially on the list, but by creator. And so I'll have usually I have my favorite creators. Their videos are the last videos that I watch, which is awful because sometimes I can have like months. Like I have a month over like a month backlog of watching James Luke Burke's videos because I put his videos like all the way at the ending of the list because he's basically my favorite person ever on YouTube. And I want to savor his videos, but like he puts out a video a week, and like I haven't actually sat down to watch any of these videos in at least a good month. So I have a whole backlog of his videos to watch, and it's just like I end up just binging people's videos. And so so on my list they're all clustered together by creator. And depending where you stand on my favorite tier, um, sometimes I watch your videos first, or sometimes I watch them last, like James. Okay, so I have these two. This is stickers again, and then this is like the last page here, which is a notes, and then this thing on the back. I don't like this, so we're just gonna get rid of that. So this is basically the last page here, and then this has a coupon code, and I don't know if this code is expired or not. I would assume it's not because it's the ending of the planner, and I figure people will buy the other planner with that. So I'm going to write that down before I cover this page up because I'm definitely covering this up. But these are all of my pages without the the inside, without the inside pages in them. And so, yeah, I'm going to proceed to tear and glue. These are all the little note pages in the inside of the planner, and there's a whole heap and delicious stack of them. Like, there should be 52 because there are 52 weeks in the year, and so I'm going to keep those for crafting, and I'm going to keep these for crafting too. I mean, these are the stickers, and I believe I already went through and took out the postcards, so those. And then we have these pages. We have the notes pages. I like the diary, and I like the bucket list. I don't really need this at all, so I'll probably not use that at all. You know what I really love here? I love this. So I can just put grid on this and use it, like grid over the contact things and have a place to write. That's also helpful too. So this one I might toss, but these are the pages and these are the stickers and these are the little pages on the inside, and then these I'm gonna collect. These are all the cutter parts. Cutter parts. This one, I love this cutter part, but I love this more. And I think, yeah, I love that more, so I'm just gonna keep it like that. And May is so pretty. What's the inside look like? I don't really like that monthly waltz that much. But yeah, I have tons and tons of videos to watch, and like I'm like sitting here like wondering when I'm gonna get to all of them, because when I get into I think I'm gonna glue these later, so I'm just gonna put them like that and just tear the months apart. But when I get into, I love this more than I love this. I forgot what I was gonna say about the video thing. Like, so my work situation has changed quite a bit since basically the pandemic, and I've always had a part-time job, right? I've always had a main part-time job and a bunch of little freelance contract jobs. Like, that's been my life since college, since graduating college. Because I think I mentioned this in my second vlog for this year, my very personal vlog, that, you know, I used to travel a lot, and I hope used to is not going to be a phrase for very long. I kind of want to start traveling again, but I used to travel a lot, and having the one part-time job, the steady part-time job, which is very flexible, and having little jobs allowed me the flexibility to do that for so long. I did it for my entire 20s, since I graduated college. So it allowed me to do that. And so I used to be a legal assistant. That was my part-time job, which is kind of crazy because I didn't go to law school or anything like that. It's just, it started out after my dad passed away. I wasn't doing anything for that entire year after he passed because, of course, the grief and all the things. And my mom, she's a legal assistant. She does that. She's always done that sort of type of work. And one of her friends who's an attorney decided to open up her own like kind of private practice as like a solo practitioner. And she needed help mostly for like administrative computer stuff. And so since I wasn't doing anything and I didn't have any work or any, just, this is so pretty, I just didn't have any will to do anything, right? I just you know, she was just like, I like how this says Augustus. Are all of them in a different language, or is that one just a miss? Yeah, that one says July. This one is supposed to say August, but this is Augustus. I think they forgot to switch it for English. Anyway, I'm just getting off track. So I went to work for her, just like really part-time, like literally like 2 days a week for like 5 hours each day, just doing like administrative stuff. And then she got her own like office space and all this stuff. Anyway, long story short, it grew. It grew to me becoming her office assistant, babysitter, like personal assistant sort of type of thing. And then I started doing more of the drafting of like the papers, which is basically what legal assistants do. And everything that I learned a lot. I was with her for 7 years. So out of those 10 years, I was with her for 7. And I ended up quitting during the pandemic in 2020 because it wasn't work that fulfilled me. I actually hate that work. I'm very good at it, but I just don't like it. And I wanted to, if I was going to be stuck at home and not traveling, I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, right? But it was a part-time job. I mean, I worked, how many? I think I worked like 3 to 4 days a week for like 5, 6 hours a day. So it was still part-time. And within those 7 years, I was helping out her office assistant, another attorney doing the same thing. And so there was one point where I was working for both of them and then babysitting and then also working retail on the weekends. And that was because I wanted to save up to spend 3 months in Southeast Asia. And so I worked all of those jobs to do that. But it was flexible in that the attorney that I worked for, my mom's friend, who I've known since I was like 10. Like I was a little kid. I've known her for like basically my whole life. She's basically like family, right? Her and her daughter. Like I used to babysit her daughter and pick her up from school and stuff like that. Her daughter's a teenager now, so I don't do that anymore. But since she was like 8, I would do that. But so they're like family. But she was such an advocate for traveling. Like she would literally take off a month every summer and take her daughter somewhere. They would go somewhere for the summer. And so she always encouraged me to like travel and to go to all the places that I wanted to go to, and she would literally let me do that. So I would go off for months on different trips, and she would accommodate that, meaning that we would set it up and plan it like, okay, I'm going to be away for this month or whatever, and we would get enough of her work done and I'll get her situated for when I'm not there, right? And then I would go and travel and then I would come back and start work again. And so it was very convenient. Not many people and not many places will let you do that. And so that's why I kept the job for so long because of that. And then while I had that, again, I had retail jobs. I had a lot of babysitting jobs. I did dog sitting as well. And I also did a bunch of different sort of like freelance, creative freelance stuff. So I would, my next door neighbor, her and her husband, they're both professors, but she hires me a lot to do graphic stuff. So she is a professor of, I believe it's anthropology or sociology. I don't. She's a professor of Latin American studies. I don't know what field that falls under. Um, at Yale University, and I believe she's the head of that department at Yale. And I helped her with like a website once. These are like contract freelance work. I helped her with a website once, and I helped her. She was writing a book, like one of those books, right, for Duke University Press, and I helped her with the graphics for her book. Like she needed to make maps, and so she hired me to make the maps for her book, and then I helped her edit the book, like go through it and edit it the way that the Duke University Press outlined it. And so like she would hire me for things like that. I would also dog sit her dog. And I also picked up her son from school. I babysat him as well. And so, but I'm just saying I would do a lot of those things amongst all the other stuff. I would help people with graphics. I would help people with websites. And I did that for quite a bit. And then I would do like my own little freelance stuff. And then once I started getting into like the whole crafty stuff, not all, not all, what you call it, not all creative teams, design teams pay you. There are some that did, like Felicity Jane did. When I was on the Get Messy team, Kaylee does pay people. So I would, do that, and that was income, right? And then I would, do my YouTube stuff and like sell printables on my website. And I used to sell handmade journals and all of that stuff too. And I did a lot of different things. I had a lot of different income streams, affiliate marketing, that, and just a lot of different things. And that is how I was able to have the flexibility to travel, to extensively travel. Like, you know, I lived in Italy for a month one summer because I wanted to live in Italy for that month. And then I didn't come home right away afterwards. I actually went to Spain afterwards, but I would do those sort of things. Again, my friend, actually, that was the biggest trip that we went on together. Was we spent 3 months. We spent 3 months in Southeast Asia. And if you've seen any one of my, like I have travel videos, they're not actually particularly popular on this channel, only because I know my niche is more of the crafty journaling, scrapbooking sort of thing. But I do have these videos called, I think I call them visual scrapbooks of my trips. And I have music videos that are kind of a condensed version of my trips, but like to a song and stuff like that. And that Southeast Asia trip, that was a doozy. That was a huge trip. One, it was to the other side of the world. Two, and I, you know, I guess long story short, I visited 11 hospitals on that video on that trip because of just accident that happened, and it was a trip. It was a trip, and I would do it all over in a heartbeat, probably minus the hospital visits. Um, but that was just something that was out of my control, basically. I basically got attacked by a dog in Thailand and had to get the series of rabies shots. And so there was like 5 of them, and me and my friend, we were traveling, and so it was difficult. I would go to different hospitals to get my shot. Luckily, most of the shots, they were scheduled to happen when I was in Thailand, which was great. But there was one that I had to do when I was in Hong Kong, so I had to like look up a hospital and take some time out of our trip to go there. But that wasn't so bad. Like, that's not the bad part about that. Like, that doesn't equate to 11 hospital visits. What equated to the 11 hospital visits was that they put you on antibiotics just to make sure that there's no infection that happens, and stuff like that. And I ended up being allergic to the medication that they gave me. And that was a whole thing because it was a delayed reaction, and I didn't realize that it was an allergic reaction when, because I've never had that happen to me before. And yeah, and so it prompted a lot of visits to the hospitals, because it was a delayed reaction, but also because we were like in the middle of traveling to different cities when it occurred. And so I wasn't in a city long enough to like really deal with it, because we already had like planned our like entire trip, right? And so yeah, it was a thing. I ended up having a severe allergic reaction to the medication, and I had to go on more medication for that, which I was like hesitant, and only because like I was never raised on meds. Like, even when I was sick, my mom just everything was like a home remedy. Um, we never took hard medications. I had to go on steroids when I was in Thailand to kind of help with the allergic reaction. It was insane. I've never been on steroids in my entire life, and I was like so scared. I was so scared of taking medication because I'm just, I wasn't raised to take meds like that. And yeah, so that's what prompted the 11 hospital visits, was because I was allergic to the medication. So I'm allergic to a lot of antibiotics now. Um, I thought it like the antibiotics that they gave me in Thailand were just amoxicillin, which is like the most basic antibiotic And I remember calling my mom too and asking her, hey, this is what happened. This is what they want to give me. Is this so? Because I didn't know. I'm like, have I ever taken this? Is this okay? And she's like, yeah, you took it. You had a really bad ear infection when you were like a kid, like 5 years old. And my doctor, prescribed amoxicillin, and you did take it and you were fine. And I was like, cool. And that's the only reason why I took it. And it turns out I wasn't fine. I'm actually allergic to it. But I'm actually allergic to a lot of different antibiotics. And I learned that during quarantine when I got like this weird skin infection, and different they put me on different antibiotics like vancomycin and um, doxycycline, and yeah, all of that. And then I was on an antihistamine that I was also allergic to, or just like, okay, I don't want to say allergic to it because I probably wasn't allergic to the antihistamine, but it gave me a severe reaction. It actually increased my heart rate. I got tachycardia from it. So, like, I have to be very careful. Long story short is I have to be very careful of medications because, like, my body just I don't know, it just doesn't handle them very well. And so that was my Southeast Asia trip. But yeah, I would do that trip over again in a heartbeat, minus the hospital visits. Minus all the hospital visits. This is so pretty. Minus all the hospital visits because they weren't bad, it was just inconvenient. And I'm just like, all that time we wasted because I had to go to the hospital for something, you know? And yeah, it was just unfortunate. It was like an unfortunate thing that happened. I still don't know why the dog attacked me. I don't think I'll ever know why the dog attacked me. It wasn't like we provoked it in any way. We were literally just walking down the road to a beach on one of the Thai islands. Like literally that's what we were doing. Um, so yeah, it was weird. It was weird, and yeah, part of my history. And it's funny too because I'm not scared of well, one, I was never afraid of dogs. Two, I'm still not afraid of dogs. Um, but I think sort of like the traumatic part of all of that, like that whole entire experience, was the hospital visits. Like, I have such a distrust for medications. Like, I don't, like, I'm very, very cautious when I have to take a new medication for anything, for any reason, because I'm just like, I'm always on the lookout for a severe reaction because for some reason lately I do get a reaction from meds. And so I try not to take them, and I voice all that to like I mean, currently I don't really have a steady doctor because of insurance purposes, but I always try to communicate that. Like, I am scared, I'm literally scared about medications and being treated at hospitals and all the things because of that. Like, didn't expect to have those reactions, you know? And it's kind of funny too because when I had the reaction from the antihistamine during COVID time, it was just an antihistamine for what my dermatologist thought was a bad skin reaction to something, right? Something that I had. We thought it was my contact dermatitis. And so to ease like the rash, you give a person antihistamine, and I don't that antihistamine, man. It I think it was that in combination with the fact that it probably wasn't allergic reaction. I was getting an allergic reaction, because of the topical treatment for the rash, but it was actually an infection because I ended up getting a fever. I don't know. My whole body was like so out of whack with that because nobody knew what I actually had, and it wasn't COVID. But yeah, but I remember taking that antihistamine, and um, you know, we went to the emergency room because nobody could tell me what the rash was, and it was like persistent. I had had it for a week, and lovely doctor at urgent care was like, you should go to the hospital because this is very strange. And then they do your vitals at urgent care, and she's like, plus your heart rate is like over 150 right now, and like I don't know what you have, and you need to go to the hospital. And yeah. It was over 150 because of the meds that I had taken, the antihistamines, and I had a fever because I had a skin infection. Um, it was bizarre, but I'm very hesitant about the medications, and like they had to give me antibiotics intravenously while I was at the hospital, and they gave me vicomycin, and oh my god, that gave me the absolute worst like rash on my face. Um, I believe it's called something. It's a common side effect that certain people have, but it felt like my entire face was just sunburned, and it didn't go away right away because they sent me home with doxycycline, which kind of prolonged that face swelling, whatever that was, whatever that reaction was. Um, I didn't know what was happening. I'm just like, I'm getting all these reactions from all these medications that I'm on, and but you have to do them when you start them because it's bad to stop antibiotics specifically when you're on a course. And so I did 10 days of all of that. Just like something gave me pink eye. I don't know what medication gave me pink eye, and it was awful. It was awful. The funny thing too is that the minute that I was off all of those meds, my whole system went back to normal. My entire system. So anything that I had that was weird, like the sunburn sort of rash on my face, the pink eye, like all of that stuff disappeared the minute I stopped taking those medications. So yeah, I'm very cautious when it comes to meds because something I have some sort of crazy allergy to a lot of them, and I think it's just because I was never raised taking any sort of medication. I think that's what it has to do with it. I don't know, but just I'm very weary. I hate hospitals. I hate hospitals. I don't like them at all. I don't like taking medications. Like I'm very like just not. I'd rather do like a holistic treatment than have to go on pharmaceuticals. Um, but yeah, those are the island remedies, as we call them here. The ones that my mom does because her mother did it. Um, those are those Caribbean island remedies. Some weird stuff like if you have an upset stomach or something like that, you drink a tea made out of garlic and oregano or something like that. It's some nasty thing, but things like that. I'd rather do things like that. Some of them are kind of weird, but for the most part, the ones that my mom has always done, they all work. Like, I always tell people, especially for like when you have an upset stomach or indigestion, oh my God, make yourself an anise tea. Basically, boil anise seeds in just water. Just boil it. Make sure it's like the seeds are heavily saturated and that the water ends up turning sort of like a amaretto sour color, like um, a light brown. The darker the water gets, the more potent it is. but it's just anise seeds, and then drink that. You could put a little honey or sugar in it. I just drink it straight. Oh my God, that settles your stomach. If you have indigestion, if you have heartburn, if you have just like a regular upset stomach, it settles it like right away. It's like the only thing that ever worked for me. Like, I know my mom used to give me Tums. Those suckers never worked. That nasty pink stuff doesn't work. The only thing that ever worked was that tea. And so I always try to have like a thing of anise, especially when I travel, because it settles the stomach. Okay, so I think all of my monthlies are all glued together. The pages that I want to cover, I think I'm just going to coil everything and cover them as I'm collaging through the 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 planner, only because a lot of them, let me see, like a lot of them have like a a pretty color here, and so as long as I collage it to match, I think it should be fine. And I think the whole feel of this, I want it to be sort of eclectic anyway, and so I'm just gonna go and coil this. And it's funny that I'm doing this live. This is going to be a really, really long video because my intention was to speed this up at some point and not do it live. But, you know, I'm telling you all my stories, so we'll just go with it for this video. It's just going to be live, so fair warning if you're watching this. It's going to be a long video. It's going to be a long video. Probably won't edit anything out unless it's like a little lull and when I have to restart my camera, only because the camera that I'm using the camera that I always use to record these little top-down sort of videos is my Fujifilm, my X-T20. That is what I use. It's a fairly old in sort of the camera world camera, and it has a 15-minute video recording limit for HD videos. And so every 15 minutes, I just have to kind of restart the video. What I film my vlogs on is my Canon G7X Mark II, which is basically a vlog camera, and the record limit on that is 30 minutes. So get a longer film time with that, but I prefer the look of my Fujifilm for these top-down videos, and I prefer using the Canon for the vlogs because it has built-in image stabilization, and my Fujifilm does not. The Fujifilm cameras are mostly for photographers. That's why I bought this particular camera. I bought it mostly for photography, but I just really like how my videos look. But it has to be on a tripod to film because, again, there's no built-in image stabilization. My lens does have image stabilization, but not the body of the camera, and so it can be shaky when I do like handheld vlogs. But the Canon G7X has amazing image stabilization, and so I use that for the vlogs. Yeah, so there we go. Now I am just going to coil this correctly, and I'm just going to pinch it back shut here. So for these, you have to start with the last page first, and then go in order to the first page, then the cover, the front cover, and then the back cover is like last. So that's how you coil stuff. Like you coil things back. Some really, really informational videos, even if you don't have a cinch, to watch are Heidi Swap's cinch videos where she shows you how to bind books using the cinch. Just watching her do it, you get a sense of how these coils sort of work. And who doesn't love Heidi Swap? She is so sweet. I actually met her once at a Paper Source event, and she was just really, really sweet. She was so sweet. Okay, so my planner is a little bit skinnier. This is all the stuff. This is legit all the stuff that we took out. And these are the pages that I'm going to keep for using elsewhere. And then these are the little flyleaf, and yeah. And the stickers are back there. And so I'm probably going to put this on my little rack, on my little desk tray that I have all the Daphne's Diary kind of tidbits from the magazines and papers and stuff like that. But this is, it's so thin. It is so thin, and I really need to just let it, I probably should put something heavy on top, only because I want to flatten out those pages, the divider, the monthly divider pages. But this is it. So I will do something here, probably like my little stats, right, and a picture of me, and then you have the year, and it goes right into January. And so I'll have a tab here that says January, and then it goes into my weeks. And then February looks like this. I might cover this up. Again, this will have a tab on it. And then it goes into February. And then March is the same. This will definitely be covered. And then April looks like this. April I'll cover too. I'll cover this side. This will stay the same because I like that. Then May. And then June I'm also going to cover. July will also be covered. And August would also be covered. Well, I don't like any of them. That one would stay the same. October's cute. Like this part, but I might cover her up too. This will stay the same because I like having that diary page, and this is definitely getting covered. And then the back one will also be getting covered. But that is my planner, and I think I am gonna stop this video here only because it is so long, probably. Like I did how many 15-minute video segments? And so this is probably already an hour, an hour long. And so I'm gonna stop here with that. But that's like the first part of how I go ahead and set this up. I think the next part, I'm gonna come back and do an entire video of creating my tabs and putting my tabs into this planner, and maybe going through the planner and covering and like beginning to cover up this page, because I honestly want the artwork for this page to match this one. And so that will be for the next video, only because this video is getting really, really long. But thank you for joining me today and watching how I kind of got and sort of put together the planner back together. That didn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm saying, but you know what I mean. I hope this was helpful if you wanted to figure out how I kind of set this up, but that's basically the bare bones of it. Again, I still have to do my tabs and then go back in and collage some of those pages. Now I can collage these pages as I'm working through the planner, but I feel like I want to do it prior to starting out the planner. And then I really do want to do my little stats page here. And so I think from my last one, I didn't do a stats page. I just kind of put my photograph there. But I kind of want to do like a legit like stats page on this. It's perfect for it. But yeah, so that is how I'm beginning to set this up. Let me know if you're using this, and let me know if you're like what you're using this planner for, because I'm very interested in it. And yeah, I'm going to do this next for the next video. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today and watching my video, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Bye, friends.